Hello everybody, how's it going? This is Richboywayne, aka the Specialist of Opportunity, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 ways to buy a house with bad credit or bankruptcy. In this video, I'm going to tell you 5 ways you can buy a house after bankruptcy or with bad credit. Keep watching to the end of the video to see the best ways you can buy a house with a bankruptcy, even if you're fresh out or if you have credit that's just bad, horrible, it's in the dumps, and you just want to buy a house. You need to buy a house. You just can't wait. I'm going to show you some methods in this video to where you can buy one today. Not 4 years from now, not 2 years from now, today. So stay tuned, okay? Let's dive right into it. So, most people, when they talk about buying a house, they only use one of 2 ways to talk about it. They either want to get you a conventional loan or FHA. Now, I do want to talk about conventional loans for a second here. Okay, this is not one of the 5 ways. Okay, so don't flag the video, don't downvote it. This is not one of the ways to buy a house, but I thought I would mention it. So, with conventional, you have to wait 4 years after your discharge, which for some people is okay. They can do that. But for most people, not really so. They don't want to do that. Okay. You typically also have to put down 20%, and you have to have a 20 or a 720 credit score. So if you have bad credit, you probably, or we definitely don't have a 720 credit score, and then you probably don't want to wait 4 years. But you may want to. Maybe you want to get your credit back up and save for a down payment. So that may be an option for you. But for people like myself and other people, we ain't got time for that, okay? We need to get it done sooner than later. Not necessarily tomorrow, but sooner than 4 years. So conventional may not be an option for people like myself and others in my situation. So the next option that I want to talk about is something that most people don't know about. And that is a USDA loan. Now with USDA, which is different than the meat company, United States Department of Agriculture, this particular loan is for people who live in a more rural area, typically outside of major cities. So you may want to look at their map, which I'll post a link to it in the description below. You can look, you can check it out, and see if maybe the properties that you want to look at fall in the USDA approved areas. With this, you typically have to wait 3 years after discharge. So it's a little bit faster than conventional. You have to put down, you actually put down 0%, which is kind of cool if you're cash strapped. You don't have a lot of cash for a deposit. This may be an option for you. And the minimum credit score is 640. So you may say, hey, look, this is actually a good option for me. My credit is bad, but I think I can get it up to 640. You do have to pay closing costs, of course, but there's no down payment. So maybe you can use that money that you would have used for a down payment for home inspection. And I don't care what anybody says. Always get a home inspection. I know in this market it's super competitive, but trust me on this. You won't regret it, okay? Get a home inspection. So moving on to FHA. Now with FHA, you typically have to wait 2 years after your discharge. By the way, if you don't know what a discharge is, typically when you go through bankruptcy, they'll do your bankruptcy, and then you get a letter after everything's complete, after everything's done. It's a discharge letter. So this is when the real process begins, and your clock starts ticking, or ticking down, so to speak. So you have to wait 2 years after that, after you get that letter. I just wanted to clarify that. With FHA, it's actually 3.5% down, 3.5% down. So on a $100,000 house, you're going to put down $3,500. And minimum credit score is 580, with 3.5% down, or 500 with 10% down. Now I had to look this up just to make sure, just to verify. So yes, it is 580, 3.5%, or 500 with 10%. So if you have a 500 credit score, you may want to wait and just boost it up to a 580. I've done credit card videos in the past. Look at my channel and look at some of my credit card videos. Get a couple of those credit cards. Start out with like maybe one or two. Build your credit up. Get some momentum going. And then in a couple of months, you should be able to get it up to a 580. So now, we're going to talk about something that nobody really talks about, and a lot of people don't know about, and that's a portfolio loan. Typically, a portfolio loan is what investors use when they're buying investment properties. However, you as an individual can also use it. With a portfolio loan, there is no wait after discharge. You can actually file bankruptcy and have a discharge, and the next day, you can go out and get a portfolio loan. Now, they're probably going to ask about your discharge. They may check your credit, they may not. Depends on who you're dealing with. But there is no wait. So that may be an option for some of you all out there. Maybe you need a house tomorrow. So a portfolio loan may be right for you. Now with that, the minimum credit score for a portfolio loan usually is about 600. And they want to see 600 and up. So if you have bad credit, you should be able to get 600 in no time, really. So if I was in your shoes and I had bad credit, I would just wait, get it up to 600, try to get a portfolio loan. Now with this, the down payments, it varies depending on who you talk to, but it's typically going to be anywhere between 10% and 20% down. Now, the rates tend to vary depending on who you get your portfolio loan from, but they're really competitive. So they're like market rates. It's not anything really extravagant or anything like that. Nothing outrageous, but it is competitive to most commercial loans that you get. So, I'm pretty sure if you're interested in getting a portfolio loan, go to Google, type in portfolio loan in your city, look at the different companies, go to their website, see what products they're offering, look at the interest rates, call them, ask them for the interest rates, and just shop around and see. But typically, they want to see 600 credit score plus and up, and they want you to put down 10 to 20%. Usually it's 20%. Usually it's 20%. But the better your credit, obviously, the less you're going to put down. So just understand that. And, like I said, that may be an option for you if you're fresh out of bankruptcy. All right. But this is not my favorite thing on this list. This is not my preferred method. So moving on to the next option, which you probably haven't heard of. And that is a non-prime loan. No, let's not get this confused with subprime loan, which is what was going on back in the early 2006s, 2007s that caused the, financial meltdown of 2008. Let's not get that confused with that, okay? A non-prime loan is just a loan that is not, they don't use traditional methods to qualify people. They use other methods. And if you're interested in that, of course, you can go on Google and look. But with non-prime loan, there is no wait. So again, if you're fresh out of bankruptcy, it may be a good option for you. You typically have to have a 600 plus credit score. You have to put down 20% minimum, usually. It is different than a portfolio loan. And you really want to be careful with non-prime loans because some of them do have interest-only payments and some of them are high interest rates. So you want to check the interest rates and see what you're getting. But usually non-prime loans are, it may be an option for you, especially if you are fresh out of bankruptcy and you have bankruptcy on your record. They tend to be a little bit more lenient than a than a portfolio loan, but you just have to check and see. Okay? Like I said, just go to Google, type in non-prime loan in your city, and look at the different companies and different service providers and see what they're offering, and just do a cross analysis, and just call them up, ask them. Doesn't hurt to shop around. But this is not my favorite method either. My favorite method that I have to say, and the fifth method of getting a loan with bad credit or bankruptcy, is going to be a sub-2 or lease option. Now, this is something that your realtor isn't going to tell you, because most of them don't know about it. Your friend that's a banker probably doesn't know about this. Not a lot of people do these anymore, and so it's kind of hard to find. But if you can find it, it is great. It's the best thing going right now, actually. And I'm going to show you some methods to find these, by the way. So just stay tuned. But the fifth way to get a loan with bankruptcy or bad credit is to do what is known as a sub-2, subject to, or a lease option. Now, with subject to, it is typically your credit score doesn't matter at all. Like they typically don't even run your credit. So you can get this actually during the bankruptcy, preferably after, and your down payment is actually going to vary, but it's not a percentage based down payment. Usually it's around $2,000 or $10,000. Usually in between there, maybe more, maybe less, but it's usually in that range. Now, subject twos are hard to find because not a lot of people know how to do them, and not a lot of people know how to do them right. In my real estate career, I've only known a handful of people who've done subject twos and do them right. It's something that I've looked into doing myself because I think it's great, but most people don't know how to do them right. So if you don't know what a subject to is, you're basically taking an existing mortgage and you're taking over the payments of that mortgage. Now, I know people are going to say, well, what about Dodd-Frank? Most places don't care where the payments are coming from as long as the payments are being made. So typically what you'll do, and the way it'll work, is that a person will let you make payments on their mortgage, and after a year or so, usually after 12 consecutive payments, they can underwrite you for a loan, and then you would take over the loan. Now, I'm not a legal expert. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a lawyer or a CPA. So please consult your lawyer or your CPA for legal or financial advice. However, I've seen it be done, and I've known people who've done this legally. Go talk to a lawyer or a CPA. But I'm just giving you information here. So, subject twos are legal. They can be done. Typically, to find them, you want to go to Facebook groups where investors hang out at, or investment clubs or investment meetups, and you want to tell them, hey, look, my name is such and such. I'm looking for a subject to deal. Add me to your buyers list, and you're going to give them your email or your phone number or both, and have them contact you once they find something that is a subject to. These things go fast, and if you want to get them, that's how you get them. You get on the list, you get on their buyers list, they'll reach out to you, and you go from there. It is great. Highly recommend it if you can find it. If you can find somebody that knows what they're doing, it's a fantastic way to buy a house. Basically, to the owner of the property, they're keeping the existing mortgage in place until you make 12 consecutive payments, and then they're going to contact an underwriter to underwrite you a mortgage to pay off their mortgage. Now, a lot of people are going to wonder about the due on sale clause and all that stuff. That's another topic for another video, and I can do a whole video series on that. But again, I'm just giving you information in this video. So that is it. That is all the methods that you can use. Of course, you can take out cash and you can go out and ask your rich uncle. But for the majority of us, we don't have that option. So this is the best option for us. If you like this content, if you like my videos, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you want to see future videos from me, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And stay up, stay positive. I know the housing market out here is crazy, but if you are persistent, you can do it. You can get your house if you want one. It's just how bad you want to do it. And there's a ton of methods out there. Don't get discouraged if you don't have a lot of cash, or if your credit's bad, or if you're fresh out of bankruptcy. Because I've done it, and many of other people have done it, and we've gotten through it. But we got to be persistent. So, as always, stay up, stay positive, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right.
I don't ask, I just go for it, and I don't care who sees. I don't like to